You're broke. You have $1,000 to your name. And that $1,000, it's already spoken for. Rent takes $800. Your phone bill takes $50. That leaves you $150 for the entire month. That's $5 a day. $5. You are budgeting like a medieval peasant, except at least they had free land. At this stage, every single purchase is a negotiation with your future self. You want a coffee? That's lunch tomorrow. You want to go out with friends? That's 3 days of eating rice. Your bank account doesn't have a balance. It has a countdown timer. And here's the real trap of being broke: overdraft fees. You don't have money, so the bank charges you money. You are being fined for being poor. A $35 fee on a $4 transaction. That's an 875% markup on your own poverty. The bank is literally making money off the fact that you don't have money. Your credit score at this stage? It's a suggestion. You're not building credit, you're surviving it. Every pre-approved credit card offer in your mailbox is just a trap with a 29% interest rate stapled to it. Being broke isn't a financial status, it's a full-time job with no pay. You're average. You have $10,000 to your name. Congratulations. You now have what financial advisors call an emergency fund. Except your entire life is an emergency, so this thing is getting drained every 6 months. $10,000 sounds like money until you realize a single trip to the emergency room costs $2,700 on average. One car repair, $500 to $1,000. One semester of community college textbooks, $400. You are one bad month away from being broke again. This is the stage where you discover the most dangerous trap in all of personal finance. Lifestyle creep, you got a raise, you got a little cushion, so now you deserve things. A better apartment, a newer car, a subscription to literally everything. You went from surviving to spending, and you didn't even notice the switch. And this is where companies start to love you. You have just enough money to be profitable. You qualify for financing. You can afford the monthly payment. And that phrase, monthly payment, is the most dangerous phrase in the English language. They never tell you the total, they tell you the monthly. Because $200 a month sounds fine until you realize it's $200 a month for 72 months on a car that'll be worth $3,000 by the time you pay it off. Average isn't comfortable. Average is one emergency away from broke and one bad decision away from debt. You're homeless. You have negative $100 to your name. Oh, you thought this list was only going up? No. See, you haven't subscribed yet, and in this economy, that's a financial decision with consequences. So we're going down. Negative $100. You don't have nothing. You have less than nothing. You owe money you don't have for things you can't remember buying. And here's what nobody tells you about this stage. Everything costs more when you're at the bottom. Laundry? That requires an apartment. Food storage. A fridge would help. A job application? Good luck without an address. The system isn't designed to help you climb out. It's designed to charge you for being stuck. You can't open a bank account with no money. You can't rent without a credit check. You can't get a credit score without credit. It's a financial catch-22 designed by people who've never had to choose between eating and keeping their phone on. This is D tier, and the only way out of D tier? Subscribe. It's free. It costs less than being homeless. Hit the button before we move on, because the next tiers get wild. You're middle class. You have $100,000 to your name. Now we're talking. $100,000. You can breathe. You have options. You can handle an emergency without having a second emergency about how to pay for the first one. But here's the thing about $100,000. It's the stage where you realize how little $100,000 actually is. You can't buy a house in any major city. You could buy a car outright, but then half your savings are gone on a depreciating asset. You could invest it, but you'll spend the next 5 years watching it grow 7% and thinking, I could have just bought Bitcoin in 2012. This is the stage where everyone becomes your financial advisor. Your uncle's got a stock tip, your coworker's into crypto. That guy on YouTube, not me, the other one, says you need to start a business. Everybody has an opinion on your money now because you finally have some. The real trap at 6 figures? Thinking you're rich. You're not. You're comfortable. And comfortable is dangerous because comfortable people make expensive decisions. You start eating at restaurants where the menu doesn't have prices. You start thinking first class isn't that much more. You start browsing real estate just for fun. $100,000 is the most psychologically dangerous amount of money. It's enough to feel safe. It's not enough to be safe. You're a billionaire. You have $1 billion to your name. And this is F tier, the worst tier on the list. I know what you're thinking. How is having $1 billion the worst? Let me explain. At $1 billion, you don't live in the same reality as other human beings. You don't go to restaurants, you have a private chef, and you're paying them $200,000 a year. You don't drive. You have a driver, actually multiple drivers, because you have multiple houses in multiple countries, and each one needs staff. Your security bill alone is $400,000 a year. You are paying almost $500,000 annually just to walk around in public. Your kids go to schools that cost $60,000 a year per kid, and those schools are full of other billionaire kids, which means your children are growing up in a reality so detached that they think private jets are a normal mode of transport. Here's the F tier kicker. You can't stop. A billionaire isn't a person with a lot of money. A billionaire is a machine that has to to keep making money to sustain the infrastructure of being a billionaire. The houses need maintenance, the staff needs salaries, the investments need managing, the lawyers need retaining. You've built a lifestyle that costs millions per year just to exist. You don't own the money owns you. That's F tier. You're a millionaire. You have $1 million to your name. And this is S tier, the best spot on the entire list. And it's not even close. $1 million is the sweet spot of human wealth. You have enough to be free, but not enough to be trapped. You can buy a house. You can invest and actually feel it grow. You can take a year off and not panic. You can say no to a job you hate without wondering how you're going to cover rent. At $1 million, you unlock something that no other tier has. Options without obligations. You don't need a staff. You don't need a security team. You don't need to maintain a lifestyle that costs more than most people's lifetime earnings. You can live simply and be genuinely wealthy. Or you can live large and still have a safety net underneath you. And here's the S tier flex that proves this is the best stage. At the billionaire level, they own yachts so big they need a second smaller yacht just to carry the supplies, the jet skis, the helicopter fuel, and the extra crew. They call it a support yacht. You're so rich that your yacht needs its own yacht, and you're still in F tier. At $1 million, you could buy a boat, a nice one, take it out yourself on a Tuesday. Because you don't have to be anywhere, that's freedom. That's S tier. $1 billion is a prison with gold bars. $1 million is the key to every door that actually matters. So there it is, every stage of wealth ranked. And the answer to where you want to be isn't at the top. It's at the stage where money works for you instead of the other way around. If you're sitting in one of these tiers right now thinking, yeah, that's exactly what it's like, drop your tier in the comments. I want to know where you're at. See you in the next one.